Welcome, everybody, in the Movie Guys verse. This is Jordan here, part of Movie Guys Podcast. We wanted to say thank you so much for downloading this most recent episode. If you don't know what Movie Guys Podcast is, we are a new movie review show that is updated weekly. You can check us out at movieguyspodcast.com and also movieguyspodcast.podbean.com. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another awesome episode of Movie Guys Podcast. And tonight we're talking about Vice, starring Christian Bale, Amy Adams, Steve Carell, Sam Rockwell, Tyler Perry, produced by Will Ferrell and Brad Pitt, and directed by Adam McKay. I am Jordan, and I am joined here, like always, with Eric and Ed. Eric, how are you doing tonight?
A little bit more depressed after watching this movie. I'm not gonna lie. You know, you think you know a guy, right, Ed?
I feel like I got shot in the face.
There you go.
Oof.
And then apologized for getting shot in the face.
Exactly. Yeah. Holy shit. This movie is
That was real. That was real, by the way. I do remember that.
When it was one of those where you kind of lived through the events. Now, here's the thing: is that around this time, because this is obviously a movie about Dick Cheney, everybody, if you didn't get it from Vice, and about, you know, how the movie's Dick Cheney and now Christian Bale plays Dick Cheney. But that living through it, I was like in high school, around going high school, college, kind of around this time, so like 2000, high school going into college. And I don't know what this means. But, you know, politics aren't really the forefront of your thoughts at around that time. So getting into more of it now, and then looking back into seeing kind of what you lived through, you're just like, what the fuck? Like, It was well acted, to say the least. But holy shit, man! I hope a lot of that was exaggerated.
All of it was.
Well, yeah, because they tell you at the beginning of the movie, we only kind of sort of know what happened. So we're just going to make fun of the rest.
True that. So I would take the situations are real. I don't take that their behavior is whatsoever, but I'd say the situations are definitely very.
Yeah, you know, Eric. Much like you know, I was in high school at the time. I mean, I remember the moment when the planes hit the towers. I remember exactly where I was. I was in 7th grade study hall. And I remember them when they wheeled the TV in so we could watch it. The only reason I bring that particular moment up is because this was, you know, my youngest memory really as a preteen, teenager, and then, you know, graduating high school and then going into college. My first ever campaign I ever worked on was the John Kerry campaign. So I was very involved in what was happening. I was 16. I was even old enough to vote at that time. So I was, you know, I just like you, I lived it. I don't want to say that I was more or less involved than you or anybody else, but I distinctly remember all of these things happening and playing themselves out on the news. And it was interesting to see. I guess I don't want to call it a backstory because they tell you right off the bat that they're going to exaggerate and make fun of the stuff that they don't know, that they can't prove.
So here's the thing, though, is that we have a different type of movie. We have kind of like this true story kind of it's not even biographical if it's going to be that inaccurate, I guess, with a lot of it and like that. I'm not saying, again, I don't know what happened, what really did happen, but I do know that during whatever was going on, I remember in high school or in college hearing kind of just through news channels or whatever that it seemed like Dick Cheney was really running the show. That Bush, and I believed it because, I mean, we all remember W, right?
Sure, yeah.
Which, by the way, Sam Rockwell is a goddamn gem. You know what I mean? Like, when you can have a character actor such as he that can do the range and the way that I think it was just great. The looks, you could just tell You know, I'm glad Will Ferrell didn't do it.
You know, I was afraid he was gonna when I heard who was directing and writing this movie.
I'm sure they took with the idea. Like,
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did.
You know, Ed, I'm surprised that you're 2 years younger than me. I forgot about that because when the towers fell, I was a freshman in high school. I've been to the towers. I was at the World Trade Center towers in Easter of 2001 with my family on an Easter vacation. So I got a chance to take pictures. We still have those pictures now of the Trade Center. I guess spoilers right now.
Sure.
Because I've been I talked to Ed about it a little bit with it, Eric, before we did the show, and I'm probably going to surprise you here. This is probably, spoilers, the worst movie I've seen in a long time.
Whoa, okay. I'm excited that you said this. I'm excited. Well, let me finish my candy bar
here. you almost choked on your right Twix.
Not the left one. The
right. Oh, okay.
It's a Kit Kat.
Oh, okay.
Tomato.
Well, you took a break from the show to, we gave you a break.
There are no sides. There are only quarters in a Kit Kat. Anyway, everyone's equal. I'll break you up all the same. Anyway.
Oh.
I don't know what that was supposed to mean.
Well, but it worked anyway.
You're allowed to, because I actually remember before watching this movie, it's one of those things where you give us the schedule and we have a movie to prep, and so that week going into it, it's first try to find the data to watch it, etc., etc. But before seeing the movie, it seems like you take notice to any time you hear mention of that movie, and you guys know me, I like to try to stay in the dark as much as I possibly can, but I hear it on the radio and I hear it whatsoever. I hate radio opinion. It's usually just, I don't like them. That's just basically what that is. I feel like they are just, anyone on the radio, as far as FM radio, I feel like they have to purposefully kind of dumb down everything, and I just don't like that.
Right.
For the most part. I'm saying everybody, I'm just saying for the most part. To engage, whatever the hell. Mm-hmm. They were shitting on this movie. Real bad. That's where I'm getting to, is that there was a morning show, and they were all talking about how they couldn't understand it, how they didn't know what was going on, about how the pacing was slow, about how whatever it was boring, and they just didn't like it. And it was just, I don't know, it was just like, maybe you just didn't get it. That was my response.
Yeah. Sure.
Initially just going, but I didn't realize that this was an Adam McKay movie. And I also didn't realize that he was doing this movie pretty much in the style of The Big Short. So
yeah,
I was trying to repeat some Oscar magic here.
I would think that he would almost have to be, from what I was seeing. I don't want to give my full opinion of the movie just yet. Quick synopsis. I mean, they ended the movie like a quarter of the way through it. They give you like a false ending, and it's a quarter of the way through it. It's not even.
That was pretty. I kind of enjoyed that part. But go ahead. Actually, cut you off.
The thing is like I enjoyed all of Adam McKay's movies up until this one, and I had my reservations going in. I'll save my full review till the end, but my biggest fear, and I told you all, I worked on John Kerry's campaign. I volunteered on John Kerry's campaign as a 16-year-old. I was very much more politically aware than most 16-year-olds. And I distinctly remember a lot of things that had happened at that time. I mean, I remember a lot of things, which this isn't a political show, so I'm not going to get into those discussions. But my biggest fear was that they're going to take some very serious things about Dick Cheney, and they were going to make fun of him. And that's unfortunately exactly what happened. Christian Bale did an impersonation. He didn't act as him. He did an impersonation of. But his job, he did it. I still don't think he did an awful job. What pissed me off was the caricatures that they made of George Bush and Donald Rumsfeld. They made fun of those guys hardcore, and those two guys are serious dudes. Like, one was the president of the United States. You can make fun of Donald Trump because the guy is basically a cartoon in himself. And you're allowed to make fun of the president. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's the point of democracy and free speech. But, like, they think of these dudes as basically retards when they're not. They're very smart dudes.
I wouldn't try to cut you up there, but it's more like they're just players in the game.
Yeah, and I get that. I get that. And I know, but you know, Josh Brolin did the same thing in W. You know, they took these. I hate that I'm about to say this, but they took these liberal caricatures of these people and put them out there, and now it's getting Oscar buzz because of these liberal caricatures, not actual facts.
Sure.
So, and again, I prefaced where I've come from. I prefaced my political thoughts on it. But I'm talking from a film perspective. I have a hard time with this movie, and I had a hard time with W for the same reasons. Okay,
so you guys brought some interesting points, but I'm going to give you guys my point of why I think this movie is the shittiest movie I've seen in a long time. Best way to say it is this movie is wrong in every technical level ever. This movie insults my intelligence as a film student when I was a film student.
Okay.
Everything that you are taught about film, this movie does absolutely wrong. There is no ABC plot. The movie jumps ahead constantly. I felt like when I was watching this movie, I was on speed because the movie starts off with Dick Cheney drunk for 6 seconds screaming, and then it jumps, and then it jumps, and then it jumps, and then it jumps. It's terrible quick cutting. Christian Bale, give Christian Bale the Oscar for American Psycho in 2000. Don't give him an Oscar for eating 1,000 Big Macs to get fat. That's all he did in this movie, was get fat and give us the Batman voice. That's all he did.
Where are the other burgers going?
Sam Rockwell, Eric, I agree with you. Sam Rockwell is a fun actor. I've always liked him and stuff. Hell, I kind of fell in love with him with Iron Man 2. That movie wasn't great, but he was fun in it. He was fun as Bush. Ed, I will not agree with you that Sam Rockwell was a caricature of who he was. I don't think that's what their goal was. I just don't think they knew what kind of movie they were making. The Big Short, which Adam McKay's last movie was before this one, was great. I still watch The Big Short as much of the time as I can. It's a great film. This movie sucks. The acting is terrible. The editing is just absolutely dog shit. People say it's boring. It's too fast. It jumps constantly. I don't know what I'm watching. It constantly goes, and doesn't give me a chance to actually figure out a story about who Dick Cheney is. It doesn't tell me who Dick Cheney is. Well, and that is the problem.
Fair enough.
All it does, again, to repeat myself, it gives me Christian Bale eating 1,000 Big Macs and doing the Batman voice. Don't give him the Oscar for that. He doesn't deserve it. This movie was made with $60 million, and it hasn't even grossed $30 million yet. This movie's shit. It is terrible. It's just the technical aspects. The writing, the acting, the cinematography, the directing choices, the editing. It's just, wow. But don't waste your time, fans.
Everything Adam McKay you did not like about this movie.
Everything Adam McKay before this movie I really liked. I mean, I like his Will Ferrell shit. It's fun, like I said before. I'm kind of like a closet Will Ferrell fan. Every time he makes a movie, I won't go see it in theaters, but I'll see it at home because I think they're fun. You know, Will Ferrell's just funny to me. And The Big Short was great, Eric. It was a great film. It was well acted. It told a story. This, it just jumps. It jumps constantly. And not in a good way like a Pulp Fiction or any other Tarantino films. It just jumps constantly, and I don't know what I'm watching. One scene he's old, one scene he's young. He always is fat, but okay, fine. I'll say this in my rant. He's a drunk, allegedly. He's a drunk. He gets kicked out of Yale. He meets Amy Adams. and she says to him, "You're never allowed to drink again or I'll leave you." And he says, "Okay." And then the next scene, he's an intern with his own private office in the White House.
Right.
Well, you did skip a couple of things, but it was real quick thereafter, yes.
Yeah, it was like 5 minutes. It's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, where's the struggle? Where's the Christian Bale acting where it's like, I'm struggling between my alcoholism and my love for you?
Because, no. I see what type of movie you're going for. This type of movie that I had seen was, I interpreted much differently. Is that I'm not watching a movie that's supposed to paint a human being. I'm watching a movie about what a bunch of people did at the expense of everybody else. I'm watching a movie where these people actually believe that like this power thing, this game that they're playing, is just another Tuesday type of thing. They're always thinking about what else, how they can turn it, how they can do something, how they can work it. That's just in the game, man. This is what I see. I see House of Cards in this.
And to bridge the 2 points that y'all are making, that's the second half of this movie.
Yeah,
that's what it is. I mean, it's 100%. To sort of, however, agree with Jordan, it jumps from like a biopic to a comedy to a House of Cards style, play and manipulation kind of story. I almost was going to compare the second half of the movie to Wag the Dog, the movie Wag the Dog.
Yeah.
Which, in real life, that kind of stuff did happen. I'm not saying it doesn't. It's just, it was several different types of movies all rolled into one. And I can't say that I hated the movie like Jordan did. I didn't hate the movie from a film critic perspective, but man, oh man, like I didn't get confused because I knew what was happening and I knew Dick Cheney's biography to a certain degree. But if I didn't, I would have got confused as all hell, I think.
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry, Eric.
No, well, okay. So just as you were saying, that the way that the story goes, it's that we presume or assume that they don't know a whole lot about the dude himself, and so we get glimpses to kind of like these drinking partying days, which seems to be like the trend for everyone in power right now. They all seem to have some sort of these reckless fucking days where they were just hopelessly in the toilet drunk.
I really like beer. Why don't you like beer?
Yeah, exactly. So exactly. Or W is it that pushes? I mean, so like.
Excuse me, Mr. Kavanaugh. What is a devil's triangle? It's a drinking game.
Movie show. But you know what I mean? Like these people are running the country now, and this seems to be kind of this new thing too. I feel like though that this movie wasn't like it's not telling a story of this man's life though. It's just like, hey, we know more about all the bullshit that happened during the 2000s, and we want to expose it a bit more, but make it not go on, a talk show to talk about it or write a book about it too. I'll do it how I know it, which is how I make a movie. And I actually like the style of how the movie goes, about how in these informative parts where you have a cut of Naomi Watts as an anchor. So you have a big name star as a person, or the waiter scene, where he was, tonight we have, with a side of Guantanamo Bay, which is, and explaining exactly what all that is. So I appreciate that style, but yeah, this movie, if you knew nothing about Dick Cheney, or even just a little bit, maybe of who he was, this movie would have been hard to follow, because it's going into the movie. It assumes that you know who this person is. It assumes that you know the crimes against him.
And see, now that's the fault of the movie, though, because us being the age we are, we didn't care. Eric, you've already spelled it out, and you said you're 16 in the politics, but generally our age, the early 30s, mid-30s, didn't give a shit about Dick Cheney and Bush. We were caring more about chasing tail in college, really.
Sure, but we lived through it, though.
We lived through it.
So there are those moments where it kind of showed what they were doing, and then they had like these montages of what was going on in the world while that was going on. How
Exactly.
we were, like the was that part.
But see but what sucks is that with my point is that while we were in college chasing tail, now we get to this movie now, we want to see, and I'm saying we the audience want to see a movie about Dick Cheney. If you're going to make a movie about Dick Cheney, give me a movie about Dick Cheney. Tell me about it. Instead of these cliff notes, these spark notes, if you will, if you guys remember that from school.
Sure do.
Yeah. Like give me that shit. No, what they gave me was, this is what we think happened. But they're going to give you a bunch of mumbled, terrible editing choices that makes me just confused. And it doesn't tell me a good story. And I'm lost, and you do not have me.
I can't disagree with you there, because just like how you said how it started. First off, it was like 15 or 20 minutes before intro reel kicked in.
That's like a thing for a while, by the way.
It's not a James Bond movie, man. What the fuck? So, yes, that was one where I was just like, what the hell is going on? That seemed unnecessary. But, whatever. The other part is, I forgot where I was going with that.
Well, I don't want to keep on repeating myself, so I'm going to try to figure out something to say.
Oh, the pacing.
I mean, one of the things that I really did enjoy was Amy Adams. I've had a love affair with Amy Adams ever since I saw her in The Fighter.
Okay, that's what it is, the pacing. But we don't know how they met. We don't know any of their history besides that it was just Rocky from the start. Again, a lot of it was back and forth between him, like, starting to him finishing real quick. Like, they glossed over terms. And by terms, I mean not like definitions, but like presidential
like
terms.
Nixon and shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Watergate was a big fucking deal. They talked about it for 5 seconds and moved on, which I guess they thought maybe, everybody knows about Watergate at this point in time. But still,
wrong audience. Audience.
At the same, and while that's true, Watergate happening was how Cheney got into the White House or how he became, got more power, because he was not tarnished by Watergate. He was one of the few Republicans in D.C. that had nothing to do with Watergate, and they still had to run the country, so they just picked this young guy.
True.
He became chief of staff.
That's basically what it is. We're just going down the list, the same Wikipedia page that I think the writer, Adam McKay, probably looked at. Right?
Yeah, right. I mean, but I was talking about Amy Adams. If anybody would be a great actor, in my opinion, in this movie, it's definitely Amy Adams. Look from this not from a real life person perspective, but look at it from a character perspective. Man, she's an evil shrew, and she was the reason why that this character of Dick Cheney became in the power the way he was. She was the one that manipulated him. Everybody thought that Bush was the puppet. No, it was Cheney, because his wife was there pulling the strings the whole time, according to this movie.
That's true. That's the one thing that I'll say about this movie that goes outside of the norm, and that they all blame his wife.
Yeah, it did seem to give him a lot of heart with family moments. Like, he really seemed to have a real soft spot for his daughters. And
if you remember
a lot too.
If you remember during the vice presidential debate in 2004, when they went after him, when John Edwards went after him about being a hypocrite on gay marriage, he ate him alive. I don't remember exactly what was said. He goes, "Look, it doesn't matter what the president believes or doesn't believe. I don't agree with him. I have a gay daughter. Now go sit down and shut up." Yeah,
basically.
Like, it was something. He didn't say it like that, but it was. That they did point that out. It's like you're going to have a problem. This is my daughter. I will not defend you. So they do, at least that's the one factual thing I think that they got about this movie, about Dick Cheney, was how much he loves his daughters. And the fact that we're skipping over the part that the narrator of the movie was the guy who died so he could have a fucking heart.
Yeah, that was
that was retarded.
That was an interesting way to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. I mean, I was like, because guy in the beginning of the movie, which this actor, I cannot name his name, but this actor has been everywhere. I have seen him in a lot of movies, but the one that I first saw him in was he was a part of the neo-Nazi gang in Breaking Bad. He was the young kid.
Yep.
And then he's just grown into some of these great iconic roles that I like him in recently in the past few years.
We saw him in Game Night. His name's Jesse
Plemons. Yep.
Well, hopefully...
Hey, I told you we reviewed Game Night, Jordan.
We did not review Game Night.
What? Yeah, we did.
We totally reviewed Game Night.
We did not, but that's okay. Continue.
We did, but continue.
We did not, and I'm going to prove it right now, live on air, because I'm not gonna tell you guys that I'm wrong, because I'm not. We did not review Game Night. So continue.
What?
We definitely reviewed Game Night.
We reviewed Game Night.
Just because you didn't put it up there,
was
we
it like
definitely
a versus
reviewed.
thing? Did we do like a special episode with it then? We talked about Game Night.
We definitely talked about Game Night because I specifically remembered thinking and talking about how creepy Jesse Plemons was.
Yeah.
No.
Like, he killed that movie, dude. He was awesome in that movie.
So I want all the fans that are watching live and also listening to the show right now to go to movieguyspodcast.com and click on and go to the search bar on the top right and click on Game Night. You will not see any archive.
No, you deleted it. You did
definitely deleted it.
I never deleted episode. What's wrong with you guys?
It's definitely.
I just watched Game Night over the holiday season. I just watched it for the first time over a holiday season with Rachel McAdams. Don't fuck with me.
Look, we did a versus. We had to do a versus.
No.
Because you didn't see it then.
No. We did not.
I distinctly remember watching it, and I distinctly remember watching it for this show because I'd have no reason to ever see that movie.
That movie was never on the schedule.
Maybe it was just a twofer? Did me and Ed just do it then?
No. We've never reviewed Game Night. Movie Guys Podcast has never reviewed Game Night. It was not a versus. It was not a twofer with you and Ed. We've never reviewed Game Night.
I wish we were reviewing Game Night.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't fuck with me on this.
No, okay, I'm not arguing your point with you, but you're absolutely wrong, Jordan. We absolutely did review it.
All right, okay, back to Vice. Back to Vice. back to Vice.
Yeah,
go back
to Vice.
So anyway, Jesse Plemons is in this movie as the heart donor, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of get this thing where he's like, I guess you could say we're kind of related type of thing. And so they do this extra punch where Dick Cheney's right after the transplant, he says it's this new heart. It's not even the other guy's heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the movie kind of goes out of its way to show that these guys are very merciless. Just cold people, dude.
I love in the movie when he's walking down Capitol Hill or whatever, and he falls to the ground holding his chest, and the guy's like, what's going on? And he's like, I'm having a heart attack, you dumb shit, or whatever.
That was the continuous thing that happened with him a bunch of times. He was having a heart attack, and he's like, I think I need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
We need
to go to the hospital right now. I'm having a heart attack.
Before we close out the show, I know Ed wants to talk about it. I just know. I never talked to Ed about this before the show, but I know he does, because I know him. Ed wants to talk about the scene in the movie where he shoots the guy in the face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ed wants to talk about this one, I know for sure. So Ed, talk about it. Well, let's go ahead and have a little discussion about the shooting in the face.
It was a scene. It was a quick scene.
I know, which is terrible.
I remember it happening. Obviously, I wasn't there, but I remember it happening over the news. Is that Dick Cheney shot a dude in the face, and the dude apologized to Dick Cheney for he didn't. He apologized to Dick Cheney for what had happened, how everybody had made fun of him. He didn't apologize for getting shot in the face. He did, however, apologize for this whole situation becoming an embarrassment for the vice president.
Regardless that the guy disagreed with Dick Cheney, but
right, okay. They were buddies. They were quail hunting. They were quail hunting, and Dick Cheney shot him in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't know exactly the nature of the conversation. Maybe Dick Cheney accidentally did it, like was said, or maybe he meant to shoot him in the face and he fucking shot him in the face.
No, that's exactly what I think I did. And what I liked about the movie was the movie did not out there and just said, so this asshole shot a guy in the face. I like the movie didn't do that, but I will choose to believe that that Dick Cheney wanted to be a mobster and shoot a guy in the face. That's what I choose to believe.
You choose to believe a lot of things that, but it is what it is.
I believe in facts, but anyway.
And also Loch Ness Monster.
Nessie's real, you son of a bitch!
Yeah, I know. Didn't mean to bring it up.
You don't make me go on a 5-minute Nessie rant. I will. Anyway. But, anyway. Eric, what'd you think about Dick Cheney shooting a guy in the face?
I mean, par for the course of this movie, I guess. Like,
there you go.
It's just, I don't know. I feel like why even? I know why you're showing it again to show that this guy's just like a heartless person. But like, this guy seems to be like he fits the role almost. Like it just seems like that's like the body type, Like that's just how a lot of what the hell is that movie? Or the book Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? No, the Blorgons. That's basically Dick Cheney, like a bureaucrat, through and through. Like that's what they have. Some people are just born like that. So this guy's like was a CEO too. I swear to God, there's a guy I went to high school with, and I saw a picture of him recently because of whatever the fuck. Oh, for our 10-year reunions. I was like, oh, that was a while ago. Anyway, the guy is like 30 years old. Looks like he's fucking 55. Not even kidding you. Just like looks balding, got the gut. And everything like that, he just looks like a CEO. It's just like, fuck, that's what it looks like. That's, you know what I mean? Like, that's just what a CEO. So
the Trump diet.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the body type, man. And I think that's just Cheney just was born to play it. He's just a cold-hearted motherfucker who doesn't care. But there's that part at the end where he gives his interview speech, and I feel like that's really the thing. Like he really believes. I don't know. Do you think he really believes that he was? You elected him to do a job. He did the fucking job. And that's it. Thank you for letting me do my job for you.
Thank you for thanking me.
Yes. No. I actually believe truly that's what he believes. Yes. I also believe that he believes that he was the president of the United States. Now, I also believe that he thought that he was the greatest motherfucker that ever lived, too. I think he's a smug bastard.
He had control. That Halliburton show was also pretty fucked up, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing, though, is that you can, let's just, I'm going off not the movie, I'm going off of my own political opinion. But when you have a puppet whose asshole is so fucking loose you can put a fucking volleyball up there, like George Bush, you can control anything, no matter who you are. And that's exactly, there would be no Cheney without Bush. I mean, like, Cheney would not be able to even remotely control Trump or even Obama or Clinton over our years of the recent presidents. Cheney just needed a puppet. And this movie has told me nothing about him. This movie's
told you plenty about him, I guess.
It told me opinions. It didn't tell me facts. See, that's the thing. That's the problem. And I guess we get into our final reviews, and I'll go first for our popcorn rating. This movie didn't tell me facts. This movie said right off the beginning that this movie is based on what we think happened. We don't know what happens. I don't know his relationship with Amy Adams. You're making a movie. You gotta follow a fucking formula. And you don't give me an A, B, and C. Sure. They give me he has Amy Adams, she says get clean, and then all of a sudden he's in the White House. Like, they don't show me how he gets to that point. That's what I wanted to see. If I'm going to sit here and watch a 2.5-hour film about Dick Cheney, I want to know everything about this motherfucker. I don't want to know about happenstance. I don't want to know about he said, she said. I want facts. And this movie didn't give me that.
Well, you want to give your popcorn now then after that?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is that I feel that this movie is the worst movie I've seen in a long time just because of a technical aspect. I don't see why people or creaming over Christian Bale. Like I said, he just ate a lot of Big Macs and talked in his Batman voice. I've seen him act better in countless other movies. Amy Adams, I love her in everything just because she's Amy Adams and she's great. But it told me nothing new about the character. It told me nothing new about Dick Cheney. I thought Adam McKay did a terrible job in telling the story. I will not waste my time or anybody else's time, and I apologized to my wife after we watched this movie, and I said, sorry for making you watch this. No bags. I will not spend any popcorn on this movie. No bag. Terrible movie. Eric, let's go with you real quick, buddy. What's your popcorn rating for Vice?
Well, basically here's the thing is that this movie is, I got, basically it's just one, the tattling on one person. I don't want to make it seem like there's any political bias in this, because there isn't. It just really, to me, seems like, I don't like Dick Cheney, and I don't like all the shit that happened with the Iraq-Afghanistan thing. I was more familiar with that than a lot of his earlier workings, and so that would have a little bit more influence and something I can relate to when that going through, because that was some bullshit. Man, to think that Saddam and his kids were just hanging out one day, and America was just like, hey, you know what? We're gonna fucking kill you. Like that's kind of weird. That's messed up. That's really messed up, man. But this Dick Cheney guy is like, I knew he's an asshole of a person. It just shows that these people, like that type of person, is just, they don't give a shit about you.
Nope.
They're playing a different game. That's all I get from this movie, though, and they just told it in more ways than one. And yeah. I think that it's almost like they took every story that was in the headlines and they just kind of did like a movie interpretation of it, did like the drunk history version of it, you know, where they acted to that. Hey,
drunk history, that's a good one.
I think that's basically what they got. All the books that were talking about how, you know, or the memoirs, and they picked the ones they wanted to do. Like, yeah, we can act that one out. We can do a scene of that. We can do a scene of that. We can do a scene of that. So that's how I feel like this movie was. I enjoyed the acting in it. I don't think it was a challenge for anyone to act in any of their characters, but they are all characters. Mm-hmm. So that's what it was. Like you guys said it's better. It's a personation. It's not an actual like a Capote type of thing. Mm-hmm.
I'm interested. What are you gonna do?
With that being said, I don't. And I like the stylings of what he does, that McKay does in the movies, where they give you the little educational kind of parts there. I always found it to be innovative. That's great. I don't think I much care for the narrator. That was just kind of a weird way to tell the story. But I understand why he does it. It's so your attention is always there, but it also might move too fast for some people. I know that the people who I was watching with, they thought it was too fast. They had some questions. They were asking questions. Wait, who's that again? Who is that? What do they do? What do they, you know? And that's basically how The Big Short was, where they do a little spiel about how percentage or whatever mortgage was. Just like, whoa, wait the hell second. What did you just say? Mm-hmm. Everything you just said, I don't know what you just said. So that's where I'm at. I enjoyed the movie. I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again. I'll give it a bag of popcorn just because.
Oh, a small bag.
It was a fine, but like I said, I don't see myself watching this movie ever again. I really don't. There was a lot of stars in this. I liked a lot of those. I like Lily Rabe. I like Alison Pill. I mean, you know, the faces that showed up, but I don't know, that's just what it is. It's, you know. So on to the next one, boys. Let's go.
So that's a small bag from. I'm sorry. That is a zero, no bag for me. That is a small bag from Eric. Ed, how are you going to end this one? Where are you going to go with it?
You know, I'm going to try to make this as short and sweet as I can. Yeah. And I think I've already touched on all the points that I wanted to make. Everybody knows, everybody in the Movie Guys verse knows I am not a fan of Christian Bale, not whatsoever. I think he's one of the most overrated actors of all time. So, again, he didn't act in this movie. He impersonated, and poorly so, I think, Dick Cheney. Amy Adams, I don't know whether or not
she was... He's got a Golden Globe. I'm interrupting you already. He's got a Golden Globe already, and you're saying that he's a shit.
Well, I was going to get to this point, but I'll jump ahead. I'll get to that point, but I'll jump ahead to myself to answer that question. The reason this movie was written and the reason this movie got all these awards was because of somebody's opinion of how shitty George Bush was and how shitty Dick Cheney was. I was there. I thought also that they were shitty, but the reason I thought they were shitty was based in facts. This reason they thought they were shitty is because of somebody's opinion. Mm. So they're creating opinionated caricatures of actual people.
You're saying this movie was done with bias. Is that?
Yes, and that's okay, but not in a biopic. This movie's a comedy, and they had to classify it as such. He got a Golden Globe nomination as leading actor in a comedy or musical. But he's only getting that because of the people that are voting in these things and because of the people behind the movie wanted to shit on Dick Cheney.
Right. This was supposed to be a comedy, right?
This is a comedy. He got it for you got to remember, all these awards that they're getting are for in a comedy or in a musical. They're not an actual real.
Definitely not as funny as The Martian. I can tell you that.
Right.
Which also won for best comedy or musical, right?
Yeah, you're right. I would have made, and any other director would have made better choices, I think, than what Adam McKay did. Adam McKay, because The Big Short needed some explanations like that, like you said. Cheney, this movie didn't need those things. This movie, like Jordan said, insults your intelligence to assume that you don't know how shitty Dick Cheney was. I fucking know how shitty Dick Cheney was. Don't make fun of it. Don't caricature it. Don't make it a comic book. Fucking just tell me how shitty he was. It's not what they did. They insulted my intelligence as somebody who was against him for factual reasons because he's Emperor Palpatine to Bush's Darth Vader. Oh. That was the fact. And they just made it like he backed into this somehow. And then, wait a minute, I had his plan all along.
Right.
So they were trying to make fun of him, and they fucked up making fun of him.
It almost seemed like I was watching, again, like House of Cards. It seemed like that towards the end, it was the Underwoods, not the Cheneys.
And it was the last season of House of Cards where they manufactured bullshit, fucking shitty drama. Because the last season of House of Cards fucking sucked.
So what's your popcorn rating?
They had to kill this movie.
Yeah, get to your popcorn.
Okay. My popcorn rating is this is just hot butter in my hands, burning my hands.
So it's no bag.
No bag.
I'll give it a no bag, but butter burning my hands. I want you to put that on bag. Butter burning my hands.
So you have heard it here first from Movie Guys Podcast that I myself, Jordan here, I give this one a no bag. Ed gives this one a no bag, and Eric gives this one a small bag of popcorn for Eric.
One bag, no refill. Small bag.
Yeah. Just a small bag.
It's the one that's been sitting there since noon because it's free small bag day.
Small bag day. There you go.
I still enjoyed the movie. Don't get me wrong, but you know what? What you say as a comic book, that's the best way I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of did play like a comic book, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. It did. It just, see, that's what's great about this is that we could enjoy something, but then we have to put our fucking Movie Guys Podcast review goggles on and go, wait a minute now. And that's what it was, because I was so excited to see this movie, and it just not what it was that I wanted it to be, and it didn't make any sense. It just insulted my intelligence when it came to actual filmmaking. This was not good when it comes to standard filmmaking.
This is where the shitty part is that we need to emphasize is that again we're talking about a movie and not about we're trying to unbias the bio here.
Yeah.
And it's as far as just movie goes.
Exactly.
And it's comic book. It almost feels like again like you had to have watched parts 1 and 2 before watching this movie. And of course we know there's still parts 1 and 2, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. You had to have been there to get what had happened, but you had to have been there and been actually active to understand what they're trying to tell you. But they're taking the pieces that they're trying to tell you and giving you a whole different puzzle.
Exactly. So hopefully next week, fans, we'll be able to give you a good movie review because next week starts our M. Night Shyamalan superhero series where we're going to come at you with Unbreakable, leading up to Glass at the towards the end of January here, which I know that us three are really excited to review Glass.
Yeah,
but
our M. Night Shyamalan series is going to be brought to you by Inside the Cellar. So definitely give the whole thing a look. Go back and check out Split. I'll put a link. We'll put a link on all our social media and whatnot. We'll put a link on the website to go directly to Split because we're not going to redo that movie.
We could redo Split and Game Night.
We did do Game Night.
We definitely did Game Night.
I'm sure we did Game Night.
I did just scroll through our archives and it's not there, but we fucking did it. I know we fucking did it.
Oh wait, so we're gonna do Unbreakable next week, leading up to the week of release of Glass. We're excited to give those two reviews to everybody here, coming out very, very soon. Like we do at the end of every show here, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure to check out other episodes. Just go to Facebook and Twitter to search for Movie Guys Podcast, and also download other episodes on iTunes and iHeartRadio, and also on Spotify, MovieGuysPodcast.com, and MovieGuysPodcast.podbean.com. Just search for Movie Guys Podcast. You will find all of our stuff. Thank you so much for listening, and also thank you so much for listening and watching to us live on Twitch and Twitter. You can find us on Twitch and Twitter, just on Twitch and on YouTube, not Twitter, sorry. Just search Movie Guys Podcast and you'll be able to find our stuff there. Thank you so much, Eric and I, for joining me, and we'll be back next week for another awesome episode. Have a good night.